We are live, so thank you very much for joining us. We are here tonight with Chris Kubecka. She is right now in Kiev. Say hello, Chris.
Hello from Kiev. You can even see the
Right
Hotel
now
Continental
in Kiev.
Kiev's
Say hello,
um,
Chris.
emergency evacuation route thing on my door. I'm here. It's interesting times.
Yes, it is. So we're hearing a lot of news coming out of the area. We just heard that, President Zelensky saying that, everybody stay calm, nothing's happening. We're having a UN Security Council meeting in roughly about 50 minutes for now. What are you seeing on the ground there?
Well, right now traffic is picking up on the ground. I can hear the cars. Um, People are starting to leave the city. It's not in big droves, but some concerned people. Obviously, it's late at night here, so not everyone's in a rush. A lot of people were probably frustrated and went to sleep, not expecting some of the developments that have occurred already, especially with Russia entering Ukraine already in the east. So yeah, yeah, things are starting to heat up a bit.
Okay, so there are news that around this time, 3 o'clock in the morning, there were some reports that there were going to be some activity. So please let us know if there's anything that you see. But what we're hearing right now from the news is that the Russian forces are going to go into a peacekeeping into the Donbass area, into Lugansk in Donetsk. The question that we're all trying to figure out is what's going to happen when they get to the contact line, because that's not the entire republic.
Correct. And it's going to be a bit peacekeeping confusing when that occurs. Because, quite frankly, firstly, not everyone in those regions want to be part of Russia or want to be independent. I can tell you, um, my one of my grandmothers was Ukrainian and from that region, and there was a many reasons why they did not go to the east versus the west when they got out during World War II. And not everyone is going, yay, Russia.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, not everyone is saying, yay, Ukraine for various reasons. Ukraine, in and of itself, has a lot of internal problems. And this has caused already a lot of strife. And we need to be aware that there are reasons other than some sort of blanket, Russia's got to be great, that's why I've got to join them. Reasons why these areas are kind of attempting, so to speak, break away. Um, there's also concern that the buffer zone that Russia seems to want is actually not only going to be the eastern regions or the outermost eastern regions, but there is concern that they are wanting to come all the way up to the main river of Ukraine, which separates Kiev.
Yeah. What? So we're seeing some pictures out of Kiev of some military equipment moving through Kiev. Have you seen anything so far on the main roads there?
Not seen because I'm on a bit of a side road from the main road that my balcony faces on, but I'm hearing the traffic that's picking up. And what's interesting is during the day to day and during yesterday and the day before, it was pretty quiet. Obviously, it's a weekend, fine. but the highways were already pretty empty. Now it's 3:14 a.m. and the amount of street traffic that I can hear right now is equal to that of the daytime.
Wow.
So there is movement. There are everyday people, there are police cars, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And obviously, the military is also moving various vehicles. So, yeah, it's very interesting this late at night or early in the morning, half empty, half full, of what's going on in the city.
So during the day, as this was going on, what did you notice about the people? Were they a little more worried after hearing President Putin do his interesting speech? I'll just say it that way.
Yes, very interesting speech. So basically, everyone decided to take a break from the, say, main area of enjoying themselves in the hotel and on a rather busy street and went to watch it. And some of the guests went directly to the front desk to ask to leave and to
Oh,
start
wow.
making arrangements. So that was a bit different.
Yeah, that was quite interesting because, first of all, 45 minutes of education of history was a little interesting.
History.
Yeah. And then, when they signed everything, things started moving very quickly. Not only there, but here, and all the different calls that were happening. Now, we work in the cybersecurity space. Are you seeing any kind of uptick of maybe attacks or any kind of indicators that the cyberspace is being ramped up a little bit?
Absolutely. So there have been attacks against the water infrastructure here. Mainly, it's been affecting the east, but there have been some other intermittent problems. There have also been intermittent ATM and banking issues that have been continuing for, gosh, probably about 5 days. There has been disruption and numerous government websites beyond what had first occurred about 5 days ago. So, for example, if you want to pay certain taxes, you can't in Kiev right now. Those websites are not functioning.
Can we make that happen here? No,
Please
no.
do, right? Shh, I love you, IRS. You are my favorite. Never audit me.
Yes. So what are your plans for, how long are you going to be there? What are you going to do? And or how are you keeping yourself safe?
Well, originally I planned to stay at least until Sunday, with a bit of a flexible date to leave. Currently, I've got two by ground evacuation plans, a train plan, another plane plan, and then a private jet.
Okay. Wonderful. And one of the things that we're seeing a lot is the talking points of, the different people coming in different routes. So we're looking at the Navy coming from the south and Mariupol, the Army coming from the east-west, coming in through Donetsk and Lugansk. And then we have the folks coming in from Belarus, and from Pripyat, from the Pripyat River and down. Are you hearing any of these things on the TV or on the loudspeakers or anything like that? What are they
Well,
saying locally?
there is concern from Belarus. There's also concern from Moldavia and that breakaway province in that area. It's almost as if you've got this surrounding faction, I'm trying to do a visual. I'm not that great at it.
Yeah.
And at the same time, Poland is holding extremely strong, and so is Romania. They are not really pleased with this entire situation. Um, but there is concern because there have, you know, been border situations before between the countries. Um, Kind of a big border. I mean, Ukraine is the largest country in Europe, and there is concern even in Kiev if the ambitions of Russia are larger than the East. Kiev is or could be a primary target.
Yeah, right now, one of the things that we are seeing here, and I'm going to share here the map, is the different positions that are coming from the north, the east, and the south, and Crimea. But like you said, there were some positions here in Moldova. You are, for everybody's that's watching, you are up here in the Kiev area. And this is right here, the area that we're talking today about. So that's about 5 hours from you. It's roughly about 5 hours.
Yeah, no one wants to even be 5 hours from a potential war zone.
And no, not at all. Not at
No.
all. All right. So, anything else that you want to tell our audience, about the things that you saw this afternoon, this evening after, because we saw a lot of jubilant people out there, but one of the things that I noticed in all the videos of the jubilant people is it happened too quick. It was very staged, if you will. And then when they popped up, there was not a lot of people. So a lot of this disinformation that's happening.
Yeah.
What are you seeing as well?
Well, the common consensus is there's a lot of info wars going on. When you get to the point that you are so frustrated that you think that you cannot trust any media source, your local, Russian, Western, etc., that in and of itself is kind of a denial of service when it comes to information. And so, fortunately or unfortunately, you then have to rely on family and friends, social media like Facebook, and that can be a good thing or a really bad thing, as we've seen in other circumstances. Because your auntie is easier and better to
Yeah.
trust. Um, and there's a lot of wearing down of the Ukrainian people, as well as the Russian people, about this situation, where it's like, you know, maybe it's fine if he just, takes the East. Maybe he'll leave the rest of us alone and we can actually sleep, right? Because it's how you feel. It's like an abusive situation. It
Right.
is an abusive
It
situation.
is.
And I'm not saying that Ukraine is perfect. There are certain reasons why some people might want to look at Russia and go, "Ooh, the grass might be greener there." It isn't. But there's this feeling that you are a frog in a pot getting slowly boiled, and I've heard that repeated about 5 times today.
Yeah, we just
And
got
that's
some news here from Al Jazeera from Donetsk, showing that the Russian forces are actually entering the area, and this is from Al Jazeera. So
yeah,
take it
no,
from
I
with a
got
grain of
some.
salt.
Well, actually, no, I got messages through local friends from family in the east that vehicles had entered, and it's kind of sad,
Yeah,
really. I mean, that's the region that my family was originally from,
yeah, it
and
is.
yeah,
Well, yeah, and
they
we're
were not
seeing a lot.
Russian.
Oh, that's right. They weren't Russian.
They were Ukrainian.
Ukrainian, yeah.
So, yes.
So we've got a lot of people in the chat saying, please stay safe, please stay safe. We can't afford to lose the good ones. So,
Oh, thank
we
you. I
got somebody
will.
over here. We've got a bunch of people here rooting for you. So, um, you can reach out to a lot of people on this side, and we'll be right there with you whenever you need
Thank
us
you.
and moving anything, moving heaven and earth to get you back. So, or at least get you home, not this way. But, so, now that this is happening and the misinformation, disinformation, the cyber wars are happening, we'll see what happens in the next 12 hours here, which is going to be very important. Both the troops, the peacekeeping troops coming in, as well as there's one of the things that I noticed during today's speech was it wasn't just the two provinces. He kept on saying about Ukraine not being a sovereign nation,
Yeah.
not being a nation, that it is still part of them. One of the things that I've been
Oh,
saying is that I really believe that our buddy Putin is looking at reconstituting the former glory of the USSR.
yeah.
Thoughts?
It's frustrating to hear that. I raised my hands for a reason. Um, if any of you have ever heard of Saint Olga, she was a princess of Kiev in the 900s, and she was from a tribe, so to speak, of Kievan Rus, and that's where Russia actually gets its name from the people who were from Kiev. Um, Ukrainians are Ukrainians. Russians actually came from Ukraine, at least the western part. It's not the other way around. Saint Olga is also the saint of vengeance. I encourage all of you to look up her information, because it is a wild freaking read. And Ukrainians have fought so hard to be independent. 1911, now. Um, Ukrainians are not Russians. Russians are not Ukrainian. And it is time that Russia actually recognizes that.
Well, the way that it sounded today was more of, they're, Ukrainian is the birthright of the USSR. And I mean, there was so much in there that I was shaking my head the entire time. But one of the things that I picked up was that it's not just the DNR and the LNR. I think there's bigger fish in there to fry. And it,
Something just went off. I'm sorry, but there's been an
go ahead.
explosion outside. Um, there's something going on. I'm not sure how long we can keep this, but that was
Okay. That was
not a
close.
firework. That was not a firework.
Do you have a window that you can be safe and look up?
Um, I'm almost afraid to go near the window in
No.
case
Yeah,
there's
no.
another one. Um, yeah, that was not. Ooh,
Looking to see if there's any reports.
I was in the military long enough to know that was not a firework. That was definitely not a car backfire. That was an explosive because I felt it in my feet on
Oh,
the
geez.
floor.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything on Twitter just as of yet, but there were various things. Okay, so there are reports of troop movements through the capital, heading to Kharkiv. Nothing yet. So, all right. So you let me know when we have to let you go, and
Yeah.
stay out the window, and you keep me posted. Okay.
All right. I will.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Chris. Stay safe,
I will.
and at any point in time that you want to jump on, let me know. We'll jump
Okay.
back on. Okay.
All
All
right.
right. And
Thank you
try to
so
sleep.
much.
Try to
I,
sleep.
I will try. I will try. It's 3:30 in the morning. I really want to go to sleep.
Okay. So you were in aviation, so you
Yeah.
remember sleeping on, against
Yeah.
the wall of the
On
C5.
nothing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So 15 minutes at a time. All right.
Exactly.
Well, thank you very much for being here. Be
Thank
safe,
you.
and we can jump on anytime. All right.
All right. Cheers.
See you later. Thank you,
All
everybody,
right.
for watching.
All right. Bye.